Welcome back, everybody, and if you're still putting up with me, thank you very much. It's time for us to enter into the Elixir well. If you've done any form of extra stuff between the last video and this one, you may already have access to the glider, but in terms of smoothness, I think the better way to go is for us to head on down to the Elixir well, grab some shroud wood along the way, and then we come back and build the glider, which is what we're going to do in this video. So this quest gets given to you after rescuing the blacksmith and is basically demonstrating a brand new mechanic to us. As far as I could tell previously, and I want to say previously because there have been 2 updates since I last played, which have drastically improved stability for me, which was a major issue because there were some areas that I just couldn't go into and the game would auto crash. So hopefully this should go nice and smoothly. To start with, we are heading back towards where we went for the blacksmith. And even though I just kind of shortcutted my way around there a bit, I want to actually meet the road so that anybody following along knows where they need to go. So this road will lead back towards where the little encampment is that leads you to and from where the blacksmith was. And we are going to follow this road down now and then take a north once we get to the southern part. That's because this should result in us encountering less enemies unless the enemy placements have been changed. You can see we've hit this little T-junction here. We don't really want to go to the right, although I haven't personally explored this. Best thing about open world games, there's always something else to find. So at a glance, didn't seem to be too crazy in there, and I really shouldn't be dallying around because we have a timer in the shroud and we have a boss to beat. So I do actually need to get a move on. Continue going down a little bit. We should get a turning to the left, which is going to take us through a little gate, and that's what we're after. Here we are. This should be it. Do be careful, there are a lot of enemies here. We want to try and stick to the right-hand side. That's the direction we want to go in. And then you... So be careful just ahead. There can be quite a lot of enemies just here. You can fight them if you want to, but because we have the timer, and we're still a little bit early for these mass combat situations, we're going to try to choose to go the slightly more peaceful route. Now, there are several of these across the world. There's actually going to be a couple that we can get to really early, and there's going to be like a big mushroom down here. Everybody should have an axe already. Hopefully I didn't have to say that at the beginning of the video, because we are going to have to cut down like a giant mushroom thing. Oh my god. Take 2 once more with less fail. Right, this time I'm not going to jump into the hole. What we are supposed to do is head on over to that little thing, right? I mean, I suppose that resets my time, which is nice. Head on over to this, and now we can crawl on down. Before we go all the way down though, can't... Oh yeah, you can just about see it on the left there. Look, there's a chest that we want to collect. So we're going to go over this way and come on up for here. It's obviously random loot. Sometimes you get really good stuff. Sometimes it's not amazing. Okay, we get a new wand. I think I actually want that. I like having a wand on. And I'm going to, conveniently enough, use that to cheese the boss down here. Damage 14. Yeah, that's way better than what we've got. Okay. No. Swap that to that, thank you. Then delete that. Enemies don't follow you forever, so we are pretty safe to head on straight down, even if something above has aggroed on us. I, of course, intend to be fairly direct here. Take a look around. Once we get to the bottom, there are chests. In fact, there are quite a lot of chests down here. So just bear that in mind. I'm mostly down here to deal with cheesing the boss, but just keep your eyes peeled, unless they've changed it. Like I said, it's been updated a lot. There's been 2 significant updates, so things could be slightly different. I was sure there was chests on the left side. See, are they seriously taking chests out? No, there's one, look. I'm sure there was multiple chests down here, though. So problem number 1 with this guy is we can kite him, this fell brute dude. But if you go too far this way, or at least previously, if you went too far this way, he would leash back. He's already leashed, look. And when he goes back to his initial starting point, he fully heals. So we have to be aware of that. So this guy is going to be our first boss. He's not incredibly difficult, but we can't take him lightly. Mr. Thunderbrute over here. So we're going to use the wand for this because the wand makes it significantly easier. Careful of his kick. You can't quite dead angle it. It does have a pretty broad hitbox, and we don't seem to get iframes on the roll, so we just need to be aware of that. Probably would have been a good idea for me to use some food buffs to make this a little easier. Blocking him isn't really an option. But as you can see, with a little bit of concentration, he isn't too bad and does drop some pretty significant gear. Take your axe out and make sure you chop down the mushroom tree. Don't really know what we call that. And that gives us a new material, which we do not want to waste. I haven't found a way to farm these yet. These seem to be one per elixir well or each one of these that you can find. I even tried taking this character into a separate world, like a fresh world, and that still doesn't count. So these are like per character and not per world. With that done, we can go ahead and leave. We want to make our way back to the blacksmith. As I said before, make sure you have gathered some shroud wood, which I didn't actually point out, did I, in this video? So I need to do that now. So on the way out, we will grab some shroud wood. And all we need to do to get that shroud wood is come to any tree whilst we are in the main enshrouded zone. I did check in the small patches that are up near the base, and we don't seem to get the shroud wood there. Just make sure you chop some of these down and you grab the shroud wood from them. Just grab like a good, like full stack or something like this, like grab 50. It's not like weight matters, but having a good amount of it for a while is just going to be useful to us. So we might as well get that done now. Keep an eye on the time. And once you have enough, just make sure you're heading west and follow the road. Obviously, at the end of this little part of the road that we're on right now, we'll take a left and we can leave the shroud. Once we're out of the shroud, we are able to fast travel again. I probably didn't say it specifically, but whilst you are actually inside of the shroud, we are unable to fast travel, which is why we had to walk on out. And with our survival of our first trip to an elixir well, we should now be able to build a glider. We just need a little bit of string and a bit of fur. With those in my inventory, we can now get the glider on. And this just attaches to your character, and I don't think it even degrades. So it is something we will upgrade as we continue moving forward. But now, when we press jump in the air, we're able to fly around, which is huge. And it's actually going to be incredibly useful once we finish the next video, which is going to be the blacksmith's next quest. As you might imagine right here, scaling the ancient spire, which we'll be doing next time. I'll catch you all very soon.